Hey everyone, I'm going to give you a quick overview of the ISTE standards page for your ePortfolio. We talked about this a little bit in class, but just to go over it one more time. I'm here on the W200 page under assignments, ePortfolio. This is a great place to get some examples, especially these last two new examples from 2016 spring. I'm looking at carries right now. So this is our ISTE standards page, and yours will be set up a lot like this. And one of the great ways to get started would just be to copy the actual standards, and each standard will have the main title, a description, and then 3 or 4 components to it. So if you wanted to copy those as separate texts and then paste those into your ePortfolio, that's a good way to start. Hers is organized really nicely. You've got the standard, and then she's saying my progress towards this standard, and then she'll have 3 evidences or examples. So yours in the end should look a lot like this. She just has a link to each of hers. You should definitely have a link, but you could also add a small image if you want to. But don't embed a whole giant, like the S'more newsletter or something that's really big, because you'll already be taking up a lot of space on this page anyway with your 3 examples for each of the standards. So that's the basic idea, is that you're providing evidence for how you meet each of these standards, and you're writing a little bit about what the activity was. I created a screencast, etc., 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 talking about how it was beneficial, and then also talking about specifically how does it meet these components of this standard. So for example, the data analysis activity we did with Plickers this week fits really nicely under Standard 2, Design, Develop Digital Age Learning Experiences and Assessment, particularly assessment. So that would be part 4 here. Provide students with multiple and varied formative and summative assessments aligned with content and technology standards. So the spring semester they used Google Form, but it was essentially the same activity. So you could talk about what Plickers is, how you used it, how you analyze the data, how looking at that data could help you shape your future instruction, which was called data-driven decision making. So you talk about all that and how that exemplifies that you understand how you can provide different forms of formative and summative assessment and use those results to inform your future teaching. You could also put this activity under Standard 3 as well. In general, for every activity we do, try to use it no more than twice here on the ISTE standards page, but if you do want to use it twice, that's okay. So that could be model use of current and emerging tools to analyze information. We did that, which is part of 4. And also communicate relevant information to students, because you're getting that data in a way that you could also share it with students. So you could talk about that here for Standard 3 as well if you want to. It fits really nicely under Standard 2, but there you could definitely put it under Standard 3 also. So that's the main idea for the ISTE standards page. We'll be working on this throughout the semester, but it'd be a good idea this week to, at the very least, get this page set up where you've got your standards, and then I'd also recommend putting in that data analysis activity. And you can look here, service learning plan, we're going to do that. This would be your instructional video here. So data collection we'll be doing a little later on, but you can get an idea of what activities they're putting where. Concept map, we already did that, so you're good there. But of course, let me know if you have any questions at all on this, and definitely try to get started at least laying this page out. Have a great rest of your week.